Naptown Tuner here. We're talking socket organization. I've got a bunch of stuff in my garage, and in my garage I just have big trays, big lock-a-socket trays. Similar to this, I've got like 5 of them. So it doesn't matter, but I'm trying to set up most of my tools for mobile stuff. I'm trying to get better and better at having everything that I need quickly, easily accessible. What I'm really starting to get fond of are these right here. And this is made by Steelman, but I just recently got one right here from PT Tools. It's basically the same exact thing. Nice aluminum rail. And this quarter drive rail was pretty long, but what I did was I cut it short because I really don't need, and I don't mind having them on both sides, but the thing is, you can take off this cap and you can put it however you want it. You can slide how many ever you want on one side. You can do it to where they're not offset, you know what I'm saying? Because these can slide all the way off the rail, and then you can flip all of them on one side if you don't like them on both sides. But I like to have the ability to have them on both sides. I actually don't mind that. I actually like to lay it here and be able to see exactly what it is. I could buy 2 of these rails if I wanted to, and I could load this rail all the way up, all the way back. So I might do that. I don't know. But in this particular case, this is all it came with. So I cut this rail short, and then I just siliconed these caps back on so they wouldn't slide off in my bag. And then this is what I hate the most. Whenever you get, of course that's a magnetic rail and starting to, I don't mind the magnetic rails. Sometimes they get annoying. See, it's sticking to everything. But what I was saying was I hate so much whenever these things break. Whenever one of these comes off, yeah, you can take this cap off at the end, and then you can take the broken one out. But very rarely are you going to be able to find replacements for that. Now, these that I got off the tool truck, these lock-a-socket trays, I was able to buy a bag of 25 of these replacements off of my Matco tool guy. So at one time I just bought a bag of 25 of these, and then anytime one of these breaks I'll just get a new one. And then what I did with this rail is it normally went to about right here. I just loaded this rail all the way up with fittings so I could go all the way across now. And I did a similar thing with this one. You see there's room for maybe one more if I wanted, but that gives me extra room if I wanted to put thicker sockets on there. But really with quarter drive, because this isn't even a quarter drive, but you see that's a 16 millimeter on an adapter, and it still really isn't wider than the rail, the pop-in piece. So this one right here is a Husky. I got this one from Home Depot, and this is not lock-a-socket. These will just spin all the way around. These will just spin all the way around, and it's the same thing like this one I just showed you, only they're slightly different. I can't remember where I got this one from, but these just spin all the way around. They don't lock into place. So far I've had good success with this. This is an aluminum rail. This is an aluminum rail. I really don't have problems with the plastic rails. This is aluminum rail. Because actually this came from Duralast. I bought a socket set, a Duralast socket set off this rail probably 12 years ago, maybe longer. And these tabs have broken off, but this has been my longest lasting socket rail I've ever owned. So it doesn't necessarily matter that it's plastic, because this whole thing is plastic. Of course, I'm not even really able to, there we go. But I don't know if they just don't make them like they used to or not, but this thing has some genuine patina, and it's been holding up big time. All the sockets fit on nicely, and as you can see, they have a nice clip. They clip in really nicely. I don't necessarily have problems with these either. I think they're fine, especially since I was able to buy that bag of replacement bits for it. But I don't have a tool truck guy anymore. So I am really pretty fond of these newer ones. I really do like these with the aluminum rail and the ability to slide it on both sides. And this one right here, it's always a huge bonus whenever you buy a socket set and it comes with a nice rail. I really do believe that this is a nice rail that Milwaukee, this is like a $40 socket set, and it comes with, I would estimated value of this rail is like $15 for that socket rail. These are really pretty nice rails. Actually, the sockets are really pretty nice as well. And no, nobody sponsors me. I got these like 2 months ago, and so far so good. They clip in nice. They've been holding up really nice in my tool bag. And then this is your standard deal right here. Now, I'm really pretty careful with this, but I've had I don't know how many of these rails like this, and these things just break off right and left. These little side pieces right here don't last for squat. And then going into the metal rail right here, these really aren't bad. I don't really have any squabbles with these things, especially if you get a good one. Now, if you get one of those cheap ones, but you usually get one of these when you buy a socket set as well. But this is kind of a quality one. You see the ends are machined up from the factory, so these pieces don't slide all the way off. I've had this rail for probably over a decade as well. And if these spring-loaded pieces get a little bit loose, you can just pop them off, spread them out, and put them back on. So really, these are not a bad deal in my opinion. They'll last very nicely, and they're somewhat cheap. You just have to get a quality one. So you don't necessarily have to buy these rails right here, probably at least $20, $25. But, you know, you can screw them down into your toolbox if you want. But those are my rails. Tell me what I'm missing, what I should have instead, what you like the best. Until next time, Naptown Tuner.